should be able to see a preliminary title report before you make an offer on the home. And this will list out any easements that affect the property, or are there any unpaid taxes or disputes over ownership or liens. That's a good indication of like, hey, is this going to be, are we going to have to go through a process? Again, fixable. How is it affected? Are there people driving over part of the land to get to their house behind?
And in layman's terms, how would you describe an easement lien?
It would be, so a lien could be like, maybe they got their roof replaced and they didn't pay the roofing company. So the roofing company said, well, we're going to put a lien on your home, and when you sell it, you have to pay us back. Easement would be, this property is acreage and there's another property behind. They have a granted right-of-way over your property.
I was just gonna say, if it was your, that neighbor that had, all the broken down cars, and he had an easement to maybe fix some of his cars in your backyard, that would not be a fun situation to have.
Yeah.
No, I think
unless you also like working on cars.
No, I think you're right on it with easements and the liens, for sure. Those are things, again, going back to your home being your own sanctuary, all of a sudden there's someone driving or cruising through your backyard. Like, hey, what are they doing back here?
Yeah, didn't know about that.
Can things like that be negotiated in the sale? How does that work?
It depends on what the recorded easement is.
So, in case of the liens on Tiffany's example of the roof, as long as that roof was paid for by the sellers at closing, then that lien wouldn't be taken on by the new buyer. But for things like the right-of-way that she mentioned earlier, unless the person who has that right-of-way, the neighbor, is willing to take that off of title and no longer have that easement, then it will be transferred on the title of the property. Probably unlikely that that neighbor would give up their right for free in that situation.